Hi, my name is Ashley. I work at the Lindner Center of Hope on the Children's Adolescence Unit for Cincinnati Children's as a whole. I am a master's student at the University of Cincinnati, getting my master's degree in psychology. I had just a really rough life growing up. I won't get into too many details, but just a lot of family stuff, a lot of personal school stuff. And when I got to be a teenager and, hormones, everything was going on, my whole life felt just different. I got really depressed and I turned to other things as a way to cope. I started hurting myself. I started self-harming pretty bad. I developed an eating disorder around the age of 12. And then I spent probably a good year in and out of children's in the psych hospital. I had about 11 inpatient stays in 10 months. So that was pretty much my life for a whole year. And I continued to do all the stuff I was doing. I attempted suicide a couple times, and it just, nothing felt like anything was going to change. And I just felt like I was going through the cycle over and over again. And it was the same stuff. I'd go and people would tell me oh, you're doing great and you're working really well. And I'd go home and it kind of just felt like nothing had changed really. So then I entered, probably when I was about 15, I entered a residential program through Cincinnati Children's. So I lived on a unit with a bunch of other kids my age for about a year. And I just did programming all day. I worked my treatment. I did the groups. I went to therapy every week. I had social workers and stuff, and they worked with my family. And then I spent a year there. And when I was discharged, I was 16. And then I never went back. I know it's not for everybody's process, but for my process, I feel like people around me didn't take me as seriously as they should have. It looked like I had a really nice life, but there was just so much going on the inside that no one saw. So when it came to things like self-harm and me having suicidal thoughts, people didn't necessarily believe it to the full extent until it got to a really bad point. People wishing that they were dead or wanting to hurt themselves or wanting to hurt other people or anything like that should be taken really seriously. There needs to just be more education. Mental illness comes in such a variety. While one child might isolate, another child might act out in a different way, and you're never going to know fully exactly what is all coming from the mental health. Everybody should have a therapist. It's so nice to just talk to people and get stuff out. So there's nothing wrong with needing help. There's nothing wrong with needing to go to therapy or take medication. There's nothing wrong with needing to go to a hospital for a couple days just to, figure some stuff out, get your stuff adjusted, and then reintroduce yourself into your life with the help that you asked for. I didn't realize it growing up, probably. I was told it so many times. Going to therapy, taking your meds, being social, getting social interaction and stuff. It is so important to sleep and eat properly and exercise and do that. I didn't realize that for a really long time. When I remember when I was going through my struggle, I feel I was awake all the time. I wouldn't get that much sleep, but it does. It has such a huge effect on just the way your mind works every single day. And if you're not treating your brain properly and your body properly, it's not going to work the way it's supposed to.